It's a beautiful morning in the neighborhood. Okay, Nix, go to the bathroom. And off he goes, racing through the neighborhood, until he finds the perfect spot.
Welcome to Yoldai's Pet Corner.
Orangutans move so slowly that sometimes people assume they're lazy. It's an easy mistake to make. You see this gentle, deliberate giant methodically munching on a piece of fruit, and your first thought isn't master strategist. It's probably closer to living life in first gear. But that slowness is deceptive. It's not apathy, it's calculation. They're not lazy. They're just thinking a lot. In a world that often rewards speed, the orangutan has chosen a different path. The path of pure, unadulterated brainpower. Every slow, measured movement is the result of a complex mental process. They are the philosophers of the primate world, and their kingdom is the canopy. Hook. Orangutans are the most solitary great apes on Earth. Unlike gorillas who live in troops or chimpanzees in communities, these red apes have evolved to thrive in near-total isolation. They build and use complex tools. They mentally map their territory and plan travel routes days in advance. They possess an astonishing long-term memory, recalling the exact locations of specific fruit trees that may only bear fruit once every decade. And they do all of this almost entirely alone. This incredible intelligence is their key to survival. So how does a species that rarely meets others, that relies on memory and planning instead of group strength, manage to thrive in one of the most complex and challenging ecosystems on the entire planet? Map Q. Orangutans are found only in two places, Borneo and Sumatra. These rainforests are ancient, among the oldest on Earth. They're layered vertically, forest floor, mid-canopy, and high canopy. Orangutans live almost exclusively in the upper canopy, where food is scattered and paths are fragile. Hidden wonder, some trees fruit only once every 7 to 10 years. Remembering when and where they fruit is a matter of survival. Orangutans aren't fast, they aren't aggressive, they don't travel in groups. Instead, they are incredibly strong, highly flexible, and exceptionally cautious. Their arms can span over 7 feet, allowing them to test branches before trusting them. Science fact: orangutans distribute their weight deliberately, preventing canopy collapse, a form of mechanical problem solving. To power a large body and an even larger brain through the treetops, you need a lot of fuel. For an orangutan, that fuel is primarily fruit. They are master frugivores, with a diet that can include over 500 different plant species. In times of plenty, when the rainforest canopy is heavy with ripe produce, their lives are a sweet feast. They gorge on succulent figs, durian, and mangoes, consuming thousands of calories a day. This is when they build up crucial fat reserves. But their menu doesn't stop there. To supplement the sugar rush, they'll add nutrient-rich young leaves, fragrant flowers, and the tender shoots of climbing plants, carefully selecting the most palatable parts. This varied diet is a testament to their deep knowledge of the forest's pantry. But the rainforest is a fickle provider. Fruiting seasons are unpredictable, and periods of scarcity are a regular challenge. This is where the orangutan's intelligence truly shines. When the sweet bounty disappears, they don't panic. They pivot. Their flexible palate allows them to switch to what scientists call fallback foods. They use their powerful jaws to strip tough bark from trees, chewing the nutritious inner layer, or cambium. They'll break open decaying wood to forage for protein-rich termites and ants. You can see the planning in their hands as they meticulously test a branch's stability, probe crevices with twigs, or use leaves as makeshift gloves to handle spiny fruit. This isn't random foraging, it's a calculated, methodical process of survival. This strategic adaptation goes beyond just what they eat. It dictates how they move. When fruit is scarce, an orangutan's entire behavior shifts. They become energy conservationists. GPS tracking data reveals they travel less, moving slowly and deliberately to minimize calorie expenditure. They expand their foraging range, visiting more feeding sites but spending less time at each one. Most remarkably, they operate on a complex mental map of their territory, a cognitive atlas that includes the location, species and fruiting status of thousands of individual trees. Researchers have observed them making deliberate detours, traveling to a specific tree that isn't yet ripe, but which their internal clock tells them will be ready in a few days. This ability to plan for a future state, to anticipate resource availability days or even weeks in advance, is an incredible display of foresight. It's a level of temporal reasoning that requires memory, experience, and a sophisticated understanding of cause and effect. This isn't just instinct reacting to the present moment. This is a conscious, cognitive strategy. In a forest that changes by the hour, the ability to think ahead isn't just an advantage, it is the very essence of survival. Orangutans use tools in the wild, leaves as gloves, sticks to extract insects, branches as umbrellas. This is culture, not coincidence. They also learn by watching. Young orangutans stay with their mothers for up to 8 years, the longest childhood of any non-human animal. That time is spent learning what to eat, where to go, and what to avoid. Unlike other great apes who live in complex social groups, orangutans are the true introverts of the primate world. They live almost entirely alone. This isn't a sign of being antisocial, it's a highly specialized survival strategy, perfectly adapted to the unique challenges of their rainforest home. For an animal this large, finding enough food every single day in a forest where resources are scattered and unpredictable requires a solitary path. But being alone doesn't mean being disconnected. They communicate across vast distances using powerful, booming long calls that can echo for over a mile through the dense forest. This is the orangutan social network, a way to stay in touch without ever needing to meet. Each call is a broadcast, a status update. It marks a male's territory, signals his strength to rivals, and attracts potential mates. It's a remarkably peaceful system, a society built on mutual awareness and respect for personal space, not on physical dominance or conflict. It's a conversation that unfolds over miles and hours. But this elegant system of remote communication has a critical vulnerability. It only works if the forest, the medium for their messages, stays whole and intact. And here's the fundamental problem. The entire orangutan way of life is built on 4 fragile pillars: a vast mental map of the forest, the silence needed for their calls to travel, the sheer distance between individuals, and an unbroken canopy to move through. When the forest is fragmented by roads, when the silence is shattered by chainsaws, when their ancient pathways are cut off, their entire way of life collapses. The system breaks. In Part 2, we'll uncover the devastating consequences of this collapse. We will explore what happens when the great thinkers of the trees lose the very space they need to think, to travel, and to be themselves. I hear Nix is coming. Hi Nix, how are you, boy?
Hi, Dad. I love your stories. And if you at home enjoy them too, please, pretty please hit like and subscribe. It makes me so happy.
Thanks, Nix. Have a treat. Good boy. Easy, buddy. Stay with me as we step into the forest where every branch is a choice and memory leads us. In Part 1, we followed orangutans through the canopy of Borneo and Sumatra, seeing how they live almost entirely alone, how they plan routes through fragile treetops, and how survival depends on memory, patience, and an unbroken forest. They are thinkers, not fighters, planners, not sprinters, route planning, not rushing, mapping paths through a canopy where every step has to hold. Survival here is a memory game, recalling trees that fruit after years, and timing journeys to meet them at exactly the right moment. And all of it happens, almost entirely alone. The forest breathes. Watch closely for where it breaks. But that way of life only works when the forest stays whole. Hold that thought, because when the canopy breaks, everything begins to change. Map Q. Orangutans rely on a continuous canopy. When forests are logged or cleared, food trees vanish, safe travel routes disappear, and distances between resources grow. Watch the map. Intact green fractures into roads, clear cuts, and isolated patches. They don't adapt quickly. They rarely migrate or form protective groups. On the ground is deadly. Above, Missing fruiting trees and broken vine bridges turn travel into risky gaps. Their strategy is long-term memory, and memory fails when the forest no longer matches what was learned. An orangutan pauses at a canopy break, weighing the jump across. Fragmented forests force orangutans to climb down, cross roads and open ground, places they'd normally avoid. Every crossing raises risk, injury, stress, conflict with people, even death. Science-backed, in fragmented habitats, stress hormones rise and reproductive success falls, shown by non-invasive hormone sampling. When canopy paths vanish, mental maps fracture, detours multiply. The forest doesn't just shrink, it becomes unfamiliar. Hesitation at a fence line, the path ahead is broken. Orangutans show remarkable emotional intelligence. They read intentions, comfort distressed infants, and remember places, events, even the timing of scarce foods. Much of what they know is learned socially, quiet observation over years at a mother's side. You can see the wheels turning, eyes scanning, hands hovering, a pause before action as memory and context align. Their choices aren't random, they're rooted in experience. And with each success or failure, they update their inner model of the forest and of each other. They solve multi-step problems. A leaf becomes a glove to handle spines, a bundle becomes a sponge to dip and drink, a twig becomes a probe to extract insects. Watch the sequence. Select, shape, test, then use. Branches are weighed with a careful shift of body mass before a single step. Even tool choice can change with conditions. Longer sticks for deeper holes, softer leaves for better water soak. This is deliberation, not impulse, and it's taught. Eyes following hands, technique refined over time. Studies show they can delay gratification and even plan future actions. An orangutan may pass on an easy snack now to reach a better payoff later, rerouting through the canopy to a tree that memory says will pay out tomorrow. That slow pace? It isn't hesitation, it's calculation. Testing load-bearing branches, distributing weight, committing only when the plan is safe. Past experience, present constraint, future reward, held together in a single quiet decision. But cognitive strength becomes a burden when the world changes too fast. Plans built on silence and continuity falter under sudden noise and broken paths. For a mind tuned to patience and precision, acceleration can feel like erasure. And yet, even here the thinker in the trees pauses, observes, and adapts, until adaptation itself meets its limit. Young orangutans stay with their mothers longer than any other non-human animal, up to 8 years. 8 years of learning, food recognition, seasonal timing, safe travel routes. They learn by watching, every handhold, every pause, but when forests are disrupted, those lessons start to vanish. A mother may remember a fruiting tree, yet her child may never see it again, and in that silence, culture disappears. Here's the reveal. Orangutans aren't struggling because they're weak. They're struggling because they're too intelligent for rapid change. Their survival strategy evolved for stability, not speed. Everything about them favors patience, planning, and precision in a world that used to change slowly. They are perfectly designed for a forest that remembers itself, which is why protecting the last connected strongholds, Borneo and Sumatra's remaining rainforests, is not optional. It's the key that lets their strategy keep working. When the canopy stays continuous, their calls carry, their mental maps stay valid, and their solitary lives still interlock. Keep the forest whole, and the system holds. Break it, and even genius can't keep up. Our choice is the difference. Tomorrow is Training Day Tuesday, where we take a closer look at animal learning, behavior, and intelligence, and how understanding it helps us understand the world we share. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Hey, enjoying our stories? Buy my dad a coffee. Thanks. On behalf of myself, my pups, and my dad, we thank you for watching.
Please remember to like
and subscribe. We get bones.
Christmas may be over, but you know what isn't? Cats and dogs still freezing, still hungry, still waiting. This winter, your local animal shelter needs help more than ever. Please donate today and help keep them warm, fed, and safe.